Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for December 15th to the 22nd, 2023. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me so that together we may align our energies and intentions to bring through what we most need this week for our highest and greatest good. With that last out breath, I just invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth, creating a grounding and anchoring in this present moment. Knowing that this tree root is not only anchoring you deeply into Mother Earth, but it is providing you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves can pass easily down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new, all of our new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania. I am so grateful to be here once again to do the reading of the week for December 15th to the 22nd, December 2023. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all of those listening now and in the future to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our hearts and minds at this time to our satisfaction in the window that we have together here today. I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present, facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our hearts and minds at this time to our satisfaction for the highest and greatest good of ourselves, those we love, and this beautiful planet we call home. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of clarity, wisdom, healing, transformation, and peace. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for creating a sacred container, a circle of light around all those participating in this reading this week. Anything that doesn't match the frequencies and intentions that we are holding for love, for light, for healing, for transformation, for peace, for upliftment, for ease, for flow, is welcome to go now. And with that, let's get started. Okay, Creator, what is it that we most need to know this week for our personal and collective highest and greatest good? That we may be what we're here to be, that we may find our path, our purpose, our journey forwards in clear and kind and beautiful ways for our good and the good of all those with whom we interact and share our lives with. So for the week of December 15th to the 22nd, 2023, what is it that we most need to know, Creator? For our good and everyone else's good. Righto. Starting with the 10 of Pentacles, the card of legacy or protection. So this card is about that energy of where we come from, our ancestry, those who came before us, on whose shoulders we stand. We would not be here without our forebears, with those earlier generations who strived to become all that they could be, to provide for their families, so that in turn their families could have children of their own, and the cycle goes on and on. And yes, some of those family dynamics have been toxic, and a lot of people have been doing amazing work to clean up their family trees, to make sure that the toxicity ends with them. So it feels like this week, this is what this is touching on. It's this, yes, ancestral patterns, ancestral connections, those who came before us, and the opportunity they have provided us with. Rising above blame and feeling bad about where we come from, perhaps, and those dynamics that weren't comfortable, but understanding that they've all contributed to who we are now and who we're becoming, and our motivation to rise and become even more than we were before. So there's a sacredness to that which came before, however dysfunctional. It's made us who we are. It's provided us with the fertile ground from which we've grown, from which we've chosen to become more, to adjust and adapt, heal what came before, complete things, end things on our family tree, so that future generations will not be impacted by those things. So if you're one of these people who's been working hard on this, and I suspect all of you are, thank you. Thank you for cleaning it up. This is part of our human journey right now, is completing these things, letting them go, releasing them from our field so that they do not impact future generations going forward, and that we clean it up for humanity at this time so that we can be whole and complete and radiant from this moment onward. So this is sitting in the past. Its impact continues into the present, into the future. We'll probably see more opportunities to do this work. And of course, as we go into the holidays, that can be a trigger point, flashpoint. And I guess what I want to say about that is tune into you. It's okay to honor yourself. It's okay to honor your needs for space, for sanity, for clarity, for grounding, for love, for acceptance, for peace. These are all completely okay. And if that means that you don't feel comfortable connecting with patterns that maybe not be as functional for you, I acknowledge you for listening to yourself and doing what you need to do to take care of yourself, or managing it in such a way that you have the space you need to stay healthy and happy and grounded, because it is an intense possibility space, let's just say. But understanding good or bad, wrong or right, and all those judgments that we have now, we can always look to what came before and leverage it for our good, leverage it and understand that that contrast has given us the opportunity to be who we are now, and to strive to become even more, and to hold a higher standard for ourselves and create clarity for those who come after us. It's quite a gift. This card of the Prince of Hearts is in our present. So the Prince of Hearts, they're knights in other decks, but he doesn't look very knight-like, does he? He's not running around with a sword drawn and shields out. He's riding around on his happy horse with the jaunty feather and waving his heart around, saying, hey, who wants to come and connect? Who wants to come and play? Let's enjoy each other's company. Let's have some fun. Let's be together in a simple and joyful and enjoyable way. So this energy in our present, I mean, of course it applies to this holiday season as well. Find the simplicity and the enjoyment of the company that you will be keeping. Go with an open heart, a willingness to be surprised and delighted by those you will encounter. And if you lead off your holiday celebratory events from the place of, I'm going to see and affirm and evoke the highest and best in everyone that I meet. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to support others in enjoying themselves in healthy and happy ways. Your entry into this energy point, or this interactions with others, will be from a completely different level. And as a result of that, everything is transformed. So it's interesting because we have sort of this intergenerational impact, but it's how do we choose to be right here, right now, in those relationships, honoring ourselves, taking care of ourselves so we can be resilient, happy and healthy and buoyant and capable of, not being brought down perhaps by those who have in the past perhaps have known our trigger points and like to use them. We don't have to engage in those dances. And as we take care of ourselves and we're in a happy and good place, we have a lot more to give, and we can show up and share our hearts in beautiful ways and help others to share their hearts in uplifting and positive ways. So that's this energy of the present. It's like, what are we choosing? What are we choosing? How are we choosing to come from our heart? How are we choosing to come from an authentic, aligned, congruent energy within ourselves, firstly, but then to share our light with others in beautiful ways so that we're helping them to shine and enjoy life more, seeing the good in those around us and acknowledging it. The near future, we have the King of Swords. And so kings are that masculine quality, and we're in the suit of swords, which is the mind and action. So going into the future here, this next week, as we're moving forward, the King of Swords is having a plan and working a plan. He's very logical, rational, linear, has sort of systems in place, likes to work the system, and follow the system because, there's an expectation then of an orderly outcome. This isn't exactly how I function personally. I'm striving to be a little bit better, but let's just say that this is a very sort of disciplined and non-emotional way of being. There's nothing wrong with this. This serves us very well at times because sometimes we can be a little bit too emotional and get a little too caught up in our stories, whereas this is very much about taking that step back, being practical, being analytical and clear-minded, and looking at a situation from that clear and clean space, not allowing our emotions to cloud our judgment or our response, but coming from it from an intentional higher level perspective equals perch. So that's what we're moving towards. So yes, this family, intergenerational awareness of what comes before, and choosing how we're going to be around it, understanding that it's all serving us, it's all for us, and we can be grateful for it even if it's been difficult and continues to be difficult. We can choose a different way of interacting with that story, with that legacy. With this card, being willing to show up, setting an intention to be a clearing for happiness and joy and well-being, and seeing and affirming the good in others and bringing out the best in others. And when we set that intention before we engage with any interaction with others, it always turns out better because we've laid down the foundation then for our interaction. And then this near future, this sort of being practical, being clear-minded and thoughtful, it relates very much to that first card that we had in the solstice reading, the winter solstice reading of the Emperor, which is all about clear sight, right vision, seeing things clearly and well. And that very much ties into the King of Swords. It's like seeing things clearly, and as a result of that clear perception, unclouded by emotions, unclouded by that clutter, taking action in a clear and concise manner, having a plan, working a plan, but clearing things up. It feels like this is a cleanup card. So that'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. It's like clarity on the mind, clarity in the body, taking action to clean things up, clear things up. And maybe it's time to do that too emotionally, coming from that clean and clear place. In our relationships with others, that's what I mean by emotionally. To appraise those relationships from a higher perspective, a more neutral perspective. And as a result, we're able to respond in a completely different way, maybe undo some of that reactive patterning we may have from before in our interactions with others. The foundation card, which kind of ties into what we were just talking about, the card of discipline, the 9 of Wands. Wands are about creativity, inspiration, and passion. And one would say, what does passion have to do with discipline? Well, everything. We need to have discipline to harness our passion and give it a context and a container through which we can flow our passion out into the world. I often like to give the example of an artist preparing for an art show. You need the venue. The venue has a certain amount of wall space. You need a theme. So with the wall space, you then know you can estimate how many paintings you'll need to fill that venue. You need to have a theme for your show, a medium of choice that you're going to work in for that show, or a few mediums that will tie into the themes of the show. And then you have your date by which that show is going to happen. And so the artist then sets about preparing and curating, whether that's a curator or an artist, creating that show that's going to be hung at that particular time for that duration of time. All that is the discipline of a fine artist. The other disciplines have it as well. That's why they're called disciplines. We have to show up and play our instrument every day to become a more proficient player and to have that dexterity and the capacity and facility with music. If we don't practice every day, that kind of goes away, as anyone who's learned an instrument knows. The same thing with dance. One must keep one's body in that tip-top tuned condition as an athlete. The same thing. It takes discipline. We, as human beings, when we want to do something, we need to set up a container of some kind, a scaffolding around us as a discipline to rein in the energy so that we have the capacity to operate within that container and really produce. As I said, that example of the art show being the beginning, because as an artist, otherwise you can go off in all directions. Different themes, different mediums, but if you don't have a show by which you need to have work done by, you're just creating generally. You're just creating. And there's no completion of that creative cycle because you're not engaging with others in the public eye and sharing the work that you've created. All that to say, this is the foundation card for this week. We're being called upon to fashion scaffolding or containers that support us in being disciplined about whatever it is that we are wanting to do. So discipline, this theme of discipline is up. We need to be creating structures for ourselves so that we can thrive, so that we can be healthy, so that we can show up and do the work we are here to do and share our gifts and shine brightly and take care of ourselves and take care of our families and, engage with the outer world in reasonable and appropriate ways. So a discipline is really powerful. And a discipline can also be a practice like yoga or qigong or tai chi or any other physical practice that ideally that brings the mind in as well, because then a meditative practice, for instance, a movement meditative practice is really wonderful because we get the body moving. We take care of this beautiful human form that we get to inhabit while we're here. And then we can sit peacefully or lay peacefully in meditation at the end. We've created a space, a clearing. We've nurtured our bodies and allowed them to move, worked the yayas out, so to speak, so that the body is still and content. And through that stillness and contentedness, we can go really deep into our connection with the broader, wiser part of us and the energies of all that is. And when we do that, we're reprogramming our field. We're opening up the space between ourselves. We're opening up the field of energy around us. And we're learning to become familiar with that frequency of well-being, of love, of goodness. And we're inviting it in to inhabit our field more frequently so that we are becoming that. A discipline like that, a practice of that sort, is actually transforming us, not only mentally and emotionally, and it's transforming us physically as well. We're changing our vibration and our frequency on the planet through those kinds of practices. So it's interesting to consider that this week, these messages, it's sort of transcending being grateful for, and at the same time, achieving sort of a neutral, higher level perspective on where we come from and those dynamics that sometimes can be troublesome, adopting a different perspective so that we can be responsive rather than reactive as we go into the holiday season where we often connect with members of our family. This idea of coming at this time of celebration from the heart, with this desire and this will to see the good in yourself and others so that we are all inviting the good into the field. And there's that lovely, lovely quality of convivial gathering and celebration. This near future card is sort of moving into this energy of being practical, of getting things done, of having a lofty perspective, of not letting emotions muddle the pond, but saying, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. These are the things, the actions I have to take, what I need to do. And underneath it all this week is this energy of discipline, setting ourselves up for success. What do we need to put in place so that we have what it takes to achieve what it is that we want to do? Whether that's getting healthier or being stronger, whatever that is. I know some of us are waiting for the new year, but we can put those things in place. We can clarify what they are now. We can spend the time because even as we begin to identify and clarify, we're starting to call it in. We're starting to call in those transformations within ourselves. We're starting to call in the cooperative components, those people that we're going to play with and co-create with. We can start to get clear now about what it is that we want moving into the new year. And we're coming into, and when I'm recording this, we're just before the solstice. And so there's that quality of energy, that new beginning, the return of the light, that building of energy that's going to be, we're at the darkest time in the northern hemisphere, and then that light is going to start to build again. So all of it sort of ties into the qualities of energy that we're experiencing right now. Really, again, the word is lofty. It's like really taking that higher perspective, really being the eagle on its perch, looking down at life and participating, of course, but not reactive. That neutral, loving, kind, humorous place willing to laugh at ourselves and each other, as we do our crazy human antics, because we do, and it's okay. So hopefully that is nourishing you and informing you this week in positive ways so that, you can be in the driver's seat in your life this week in a beautiful way and adjust and adapt and flow with ease and grace and achieve all that it is that you have in your heart to bring through and achieve in right relationship to yourself, your family, your loved ones, and life itself. So I'm going to pull in now the card to grow on so that we can summarize and collect all this wisdom. So if there's one thing to carry forward this week, it's the card to grow on as we move through our days. So Creator, what is it that we most need to know for this coming week of December 15th to the 22nd, 2023? Summarized in one card, please. That will be really helpful to just carry this wisdom with us and be able to refer to it in our hearts and minds as we navigate this upcoming week. For our good and the good of everyone we connect with in this beautiful planet, please. The Magician. So, the Magician pulls it all together, doesn't he? I mean, a magician is a very disciplined individual. He's pulling water up out of the ground. I mean, it takes discipline, it takes focus, it takes attention, intention, and will lined up. And that's what those cards were sort of telling us. What is our intention going into this holiday season? Who do we want to be? Because we can make it so. That is what this card is saying. Who do we want to be? What is the energy we want to bring to our interactions with others? How do we want to be in our own experience and in those areas of our lives where, whether that's work or family or extended family or friends, whatever it is that's in your field, community groups that you're involved in, who do you want to be? And bringing awareness to this, like I said, that lofty perspective, that eagle's perch, looking out into the world and looking deeply within ourselves and saying, who am I? Who do I want to be? And taking control and command. Like I said, the magician lines up his will, his attention, and his intention. And as a result of those energies being lined up and congruent, the magician can pull through whatever it needs to be pulled through, can pull water up out of the ground, can make beautiful palaces happen. I mean, that's the symbolism of the card, the metamorphosis of the butterfly, that capacity to transform at that level, at that dramatic and transformative level. And that really is sort of where humanity is sitting, is we're at this place where we've been caterpillars and we're going to be becoming butterflies. But it reminds us that we need to be participants. It's not a passive experience here. We need to be active, co-creative participants in this unfolding of humanity, each of us one at a time, striving to be who we are, striving to bring our heart to the surface and share it in beautiful ways, and supporting and acknowledging and helping each other to do just that. So this is a lovely card to grow on this week. As you know, Major Arcana has to do with our soul growth, our evolution, why we're here on the planet at this time. It's about harnessing our power and really using it to serve us and to serve life and the lives of those around us. It all comes back to that, doesn't it? This lovely life and this opportunity to be of service. So this week, our card to grow on is the Magician. Pulling together our attention, our intention, and our will so that we are powerful in any given situation and can respond from a wise and deep and grounded place, seeing, affirming, and evoking the highest and best in everyone we interact with, including ourselves, so that we stay in that beautiful, lofty energy and can help bring heaven to earth through our participation here. Okay. Really strong and good reading. Another good one. Gotta love it. I invite you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath with me. The wonderful thing about inspiration and respiration, we're bringing life into ourselves through our breath. We all do it. It's a magnificent thing about being embodied and alive in human form or life form on planet Earth at this time. With every breath, coming home to our bodies, more happily, more comfortably, with appreciation, with love, wherever you are, whatever the nature of your relationship with your body. I invite you in this moment to feel appreciation and love for that form that holds the frequency of you, that sacred, sacred beingness, the embodiment of your three-dimensional existence here on earth, with its wonderful sensory organs and our capacity to see and witness and experience the beauty of this reality and our interactions with each other, our opportunity to savor all that it is, because it is so precious. The gift of that from life is profound. We are so grateful, Creator. Thank you. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania. I want to thank you for the capacity and the opportunity to once again be of service through these readings this week of December 15th to the 22nd, 2023. I am so grateful for all the loving kindness and support that exists for me and for all others on these recordings and all those we love who surround us. I am grateful to our families, to those generations who came before, who did the best they could, even if it wasn't so great sometimes. I want to thank them for doing their best, for striving, and for providing us with an opportunity to be embodied at this time. And I am grateful for our awarenesses and our gifts and our talents and our abilities and those who are here to help us clean up family tree, family constellation work, help us to heal that which has come before so we can free up future generations. I'm so grateful for this work that's being done on the planet at this time and each individual who's participating in it. Because as we free up one family tree, it affects all family trees and we all benefit. This is good work. I want to thank all those, in addition to our grandmothers and grandfathers, all those angelic beings, all those broader, wiser selves who are part of our spirit family. Thank you for being with us, for walking with us and helping us and guiding us. We are so blessed to be part of this incredible circle of life, even if it is invisible to us currently in our current iteration of form. I want to thank you as well for being here, for bringing your light, your energy, and your vitality to these readings every week. I'm grateful for you and all that you do to make the world a better place through your presence in it. The reading is at an end, Creator. We are so grateful for this opportunity to gather. Onward and upward, and happy return of the light. This is the week of the solstice. I hope you enjoy this deep time and give yourself an opportunity to nurture yourself in the womb of life, or the withdrawal of the external into the internal, and take some time to dream your future in beautiful ways and to dream our collective future in beautiful ways. It doesn't have to be specific details, but coming back to the essence of how do you want to feel in it? When you wake up in the morning, how will it feel? When you go to bed at night, how will it feel? As you move through the world, how will it feel? Come into the essence and the frequency of that experience and dream into that. It doesn't have to be a particular material object. In fact, it's better if we think of it more from that place of the feeling place, because that's where life meets us. And if that feels like too much, go to gratitude. It's the best default there is. Love and gratitude, very high frequency energies. When we let ourselves go into gratitude for the many blessings of our lives, we shift our own physiology, our own biology. We transform the field around us, and we pull good things from the universe, because the universe delights to send us more that matches our frequency. And gratitude is one of the fastest ways that we can shift our frequency from something that's lower to something that's higher. So with that, I wish you a beautiful week. Happy solstice. And I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Much love and light. Take care.